All right, we got our sound effects ready. We have our... Great. And then we have our... Great. And then we
I think it's funny if we were to play one while she's talking because she can't hear it.
Yeah, that's true. So who are we speaking with today?
We're talking to Peyton Overstreet.
Peyton Overstreet. She's just such a grounded individual.
She's amazing.
She came to us and she has this spirit about herself that is whatever it takes, whatever you need. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And I have to tell you, that's a rare quality for people nowadays. That, not that she's putting herself second. I don't want anyone to think that, that anyone walks over Peyton, because I don't think that's the truth at all. But I do believe that she is just such a person that is supporting her group, the person she's speaking with. She knows when she needs to just observe and be, a follower, but she's also there whenever you need her to be a leader.
Yeah, I think she's just a person that puts her all into everything that she does.
Yeah. That's why she's back this summer.
Yeah.
She is back. We're announcing it right now.
So exciting.
So exciting. She's the first person, besides yourself,
besides
Liz,
me.
besides
Liz
you,
is also coming back.
Liz is also coming back. Maybe we should ask you some questions at some point.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Like, what is your favorite sandwich?
What is my favorite sandwich?
Yeah. Let me ask it the right way. What's the best sandwich?
Aggie, I think that the best sandwich is a crispy chicken sandwich, but a spicy crispy chicken sandwich.
A spicy, crispy chicken sandwich.
Yes.
Wow.
Of course.
No, what are the condiments on that?
So it comes with like chipotle mayo.
Oh my goodness.
And maybe you'll have like a little tomato and lettuce on there.
That sounds delicious. All right. Well, without any further ado, I don't really know what that means. I don't know why I said that. I never say that.
Without any further ado.
Further ado.
That sounds like something someone from Kansas would say.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I've heard that a lot. I said frumpy the other day, and Oren didn't know what frumpy meant. Is that a Kansas thing?
No, I think I've used the word frumpy before.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you describing when you said something was frumpy?
Myself.
Wow. I would not describe you as frumpy.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Well, let's get to it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Peyton Overstreet. Cue the music.
I think for this, you'll probably just see me the whole time.
Hey, that's okay. It's a friendly face.
All right.
Yeah.
If I can always move you like this.
Yeah. Give me a POV.
That's right.
Like I'm
Oh my goodness,
Peyton, I'm
Peyton
so
Overstreet. There you
excited.
are. It's so good to see your face.
It's good to see y'all's faces.
Aw. What have you been up to, Peyton?
Just traveling and trying to enjoy unemployment while being a little anxious about being unemployed. I got a job at Target.
I love that. Do you get discount?
I do.
That's perfect.
I went to training, and then Arya's mom offered to fly me up to Jersey, and she's paying me the same to not deal with working at Target and just organizing her stuff. So I quit just after training.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, that was the fastest Target
It
employment.
was, and it's not like me. I'm normally very loyal to a fault, but
I can actually vouch for that. I can vouch that you are loyal to a fault at times.
but yeah, I decided to not do that and do something that would make me a little happier until I get to come out to the Music Man.
I know it's gonna be so soon.
So where are
I
you?
know, I'm so
Where are you right
excited.
now?
Right now, I'm in Tallahassee with my family, and I'm about to go to Venice Beach for a week with the red tide, though, so can't go in the ocean. Classic Florida things.
Of course.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's so much fun.
That's
That's so
where
much
I'm at.
fun.
I'm ready to be back in Jersey. I realized I was talking with Aria, and I've lived in Jersey more months out of the year than any other state this year.
Yeah,
So I feel like I'm officially a Jersey girl.
oh,
We're both Jersey girls.
you are definitely
Yeah.
both Jersey girls.
And I meet other people from, I can pick up, before, like, when someone's accent was really subtle, I wouldn't be able to hear it. Now I feel like I can pick a Jersey accent out. Like, even the most subtle, light Jersey accent out from anywhere in a crowd. And I see someone from Jersey and I feel like a kinship with them, even though I'm not originally from Jersey, but I'm like,
It's like, I get you.
you.
Oh my
Oh, you live in the
goodness.
best state ever.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Peyton.
Who would have thunk, you know?
Yeah, who would have thought? So we are speaking to Peyton Overstreet. She kind of let in a little bit where she's from and who she is a little bit. But Peyton, tell us, were you born and raised in Florida?
I was born in Florida, but moved around a lot as a kid. So I lived in DC for a little bit, which was my personal fave. But my mom hates the cold. She's born and raised in Daytona Beach. So after the second winter of record-breaking snow, she pulled my dad inside and said, "David, I'm taking the girls back to Florida. You're welcome to join if you'd like." And so we went back to Florida. But yeah, I've mostly Florida is home, but I travel around a lot. Like to live a lot of different places.
So you said girls. So you're one of two?
One of three girls.
One of three girls.
Plus, my grandma lives with us, and we have a girl dog. So my dad is
Okay.
He's outnumbered.
starkly outnumbered.
Well, I met your father last year, and I think he's okay with that.
Yeah, he's a proud girl dad. We all played sports, so I feel like that fulfilled any need he had for sons.
Well, let's from a dad's perspective, we want happy children. So
Yeah.
I do, before my boys were born, it didn't matter to me, boys, girls, doesn't matter. We wanted healthy and happy.
Yeah.
So, when Liz and I were speaking to you this morning, we were just coming up with some ideas on who is Peyton, and some of the things I don't know is prior to coming to the Music Man, you had some interesting jobs.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So the pandemic hit when I was graduating college. It was the spring of my senior year, and obviously that derailed everything. I was going to go potentially live in Tokyo at the time because I had a job offer there, but that obviously fell through, and I was stuck at home nannying. And I remember having a conversation with my mom where I was like, I don't want to resent being at home because home is a safe space and it should always be like that. But for whatever reason, I was getting real itchy there. And I was like, I'm starting to resent being at home. And that's not the relationship I want to have. So I went and I looked, and the summer before my senior year, I worked in Yellowstone National Park because I just wanted to do something different. I presumed that would be my last summer or my last random seasonal gig. So I
And what
wanted to
did you
do
do
something
there?
fun. I worked in the coffee shop in the center of the park. We lived in the middle of nowhere. The closest town was 3 hours away. I woke up every morning, worked 5 to 2. The sun didn't set till 10, so I'd work all morning, take a nap, go hike. Um, it was amazing. It was one of the best summers of my life. So I realized like I wasn't into, so flash forward, the pandemic's happening and I'm not happy at home. I'm not doing theater, but I'm also just waiting around for life to continue. And I realized I was really unhappy with that. So I was ready for life to continue for me. So I reached out to one of my best friends from Yellowstone and asked her if she wanted to go work in Glacier National Park because she and I worked there or visited there the summer before and fell in love. And so she said yes. And we applied, got jobs, and drove across the country in 2 weeks, saw a ton of national parks, and ended up in Glacier in the most remote village there called Nenny, literally padlocked in because it wasn't open to the public yet. And so it's me and one of my best friends and about 30 other people padlocked in the most remote part of Glacier National Park with no one from the public being able to enter or exit. We're all just stuck there. So it really quickly just turned into paid summer camp where we weren't, tending to the public. We weren't really any of us doing the jobs we were there for, but we were given jobs. So we would kind of work during the day and then just all go out and hike and do whatever we wanted in arguably one of the most beautiful parts of the entire world, let alone country. But then about 3 or 4 weeks into that, they decided that that part of the park was going to remain closed because you had to pass through a Native American reservation to access it. And they weren't comfortable having the amount of crowds go through their land that it would require to open the public, which obviously we all understood. We were like, all right, that was y'all's call to make. So they moved us all back to Yellowstone. So I was back where I started, and I worked in Yellowstone again. I was a storekeeper for a little restaurant there, so I handled stock and ordering food and just kind of floated. It was a good time, and then I decided I wasn't done with living out west. Theater wasn't really coming back, and I wasn't really into Zoom style theater. That wasn't creatively fulfilling for me. So I decided to stay out there, and I worked at a ski resort in the Tetons. And then the next summer I worked in the Tetons National Park. And so, yeah,
Wow.
I got to see, and that third week or that third summer when I worked in the Tetons, Andy and I, my friend who, I went to Glacier with in the first place. She and I did another grand road trip where this time we went all through Utah and Arizona. So I got to see all of the national parks there. And it was amazing. I ended up hiking over 500 miles in the greater Yellowstone area. And I just felt so lucky to see so much of this country that so many people have never been able to see, let alone do that during a time where people were locked inside. Obviously, there were a lot of restrictions and a lot of limitations given the pandemic. Like there were a lot of things we couldn't do or didn't want to do because we didn't want to jeopardize someone else's safety. So, but luckily, one of the most accessible, easy things to do was to get outside, which is exactly what we were there to do. So, yeah, that was really, really wonderful. And then about halfway through my summer at the Tetons, I started getting that itch again that I needed to do something else. And theater just started calling back to me again. And I'd gotten scared at one point. I was like, what if I never want to do theater again? I'm so happy here. But you can't escape theater when it's such an important part of you. So, yeah, about halfway through that summer, I got the itch again. So I finished out that season and then was home for about 2 weeks and then got a call from Dollywood and went and worked for them. which was wonderful. I love roller coasters as well. So that was a great experience. Finished out that contract, came home, and applied for the Music Man on a whim. Mostly it was a laugh. I was like, I would work at the Jersey Shore. I have family. My dad's cousins are from Jersey originally. They live in Brooklyn, but I knew they'd be close. And so, yeah, I just decided to go for it. I always joke that if I knew, I didn't know what I was getting into.
Well, no
And I
one
think
does.
maybe if I knew how crazy the summer would be, I don't know that I would have applied, and that breaks my heart to think about that because it was one of the best summers of my entire life.
Wow,
It was crazy and it
we need
was
to get into
fun.
that.
Yeah,
We need to get into that.
yeah.
We need to get into that. But before we do that, I'm starting to hear, and I did know you had those experiences in national parks, and you did that. I didn't put it in perspective that it was during the pandemic,
Yeah.
although I should have, but we all lived in the pandemic in our own ways. But what I heard in what you just said was really the essence who I think Peyton is. And that's when whatever the situation, she makes the best of it. And
Well, thank you.
what you saying, the restrictions and all those restrictions, I didn't hear any restrictions in how you were explaining the beauty and what you were doing. Like you weren't being held down by, the what was around you, and you were just taking the opportunity and making the most of it.
Well, thank you, Aggie.
Well, just calling it as I see it. Calling it as I see it. So let's circle back to that light bulb that just went off. That's saying you wouldn't have applied. And that kind of my heart's not broken yet. But you wouldn't have applied if you knew. What didn't you know?
I think I misspoke.
Okay.
I don't think I would have applied initially if I knew how many rounds of interviews we would have to do
Oh,
to
okay.
get the job. Only because, and I saw it, and I see it like as soon as I got there, I got it. It made sense. Y'all did the amount of interviews just to make sure we connected as people. And I mean, we live together, we work together. It's really important that we all are compatible. And I get that that was y'all's method of figuring that out. But I would joke at the time, I think we were in like the fourth call of interviews, and I looked at my parents and I was like, I don't know if I would have applied for this if I knew it was going to be this many rounds.
Oh, okay. You know what?
But-
And we struggle with that. We definitely struggle with that. Josephine and I actually had the conversation this morning because we're in our interview season right now, and
Yeah.
I said, I feel that at times are we losing people because of the time that it takes us. And
You know what though? I think the people who are I don't think you want someone on your team who you're going to lose just by having one too many interviews.
Yeah.
You know? I think
Yeah.
if someone's going to give up that quickly, that might not be the type of person that would thrive at the Music Man because it is such hard work.
Well, it's not only hard work. I feel, I talk about during our interview process, the three pillars of how we interview and how we teach our staff when they come in. The first being, running a retail shop and running an ice cream shop. Has nothing to do with performing. And then we teach the pillar we call them silos, but the pillar of the show and how the show is constructed, how we arc the show, how people are prepared with that. And then we do the announcements, how the show ice cream is tied into the show. But the third silo or the third pillar is the camaraderie of the group. And how they interact with one another and how they care for one another. And I kind of always went back, one of my favorite shows, and I'm sure it's everyone's favorite show, is A Chorus Line. And, when he's going through and hearing each of their stories, I truly believe that if we were to take the show at the end of the show and you didn't know anything about their stories, I believe that the depth of these individuals really make up what the audience is seeing indirectly. And I truly believe that that comes through with the Music Man, that the people that we've hired and the people that care for one another, really shines through, even though the audience doesn't, we are all wearing stripes. We all pretty much look the same. And we all have different voices and we all have different characters, but they all complement one another. And I think that that is what the interview process does for the Music Man. And Josephine reminded me again this morning. She said, I believe our process. Do not circumvent our process. Continue down the road. So it's interesting to hear your perspective. So if you're out there and you're going through our interview and our audition process, stick with it, because if we're investing time in you, please invest time in us.
Yeah.
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 No, I wouldn't change a thing. I think, I just think it's the best way to get to know people and make sure they gel, because we are such a team and such a family. And I wouldn't change a thing.
And we want you to know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, it is high energy, and there is, we do work, long hours and, really rehearse our material so it looks easy to the audience.
Yeah.
And we do that. And, we want to make sure people know what they're getting themselves involved in before they come. Because I always say, once people are here and cast members are here, whether they are a fit or not a fit, if they leave, we miss them. We miss them, and they will always be a part of that group, and they will be part of that team, even though they didn't finish out the season. They are part of that group because they put their fingerprint on this cast. So, for better or worse, we want to make sure that we have the right people here, and we do our best. And sometimes we miss it. We miss the target.
Yeah.
Tell us something that you from last summer that you didn't expect that happened, and you were so surprised and so thankful.
I really didn't expect. There's this one couple. It's a grandfather and his granddaughter. Ellie is her name, and they were one of the first tables I ever served. And they came back periodically throughout the summer. And for whatever reason, you meet hundreds of people, and some people you've seen a couple times before, but can't quite place it. But for whatever reason, the minute he re-entered the building, I remembered him. And he just had this grandfather, and he didn't, the first time he came back, he didn't bring his granddaughter. But he had just such a kind energy, and he came up to me and said, Ellie still talks about you. And so I said, you have to bring her back. And he did. He brought her back a few weeks later. And building those kind of connections with people, I just didn't expect. I thought you would connect with the audience because it's very much like in their space, but I didn't think there are people I would see as like friends and family when they come back in. Or Michelle Romano, for example. Every time she would come back, shout out to Michelle. Every time she would come back into the building, everyone would say, she's here, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't expect those kinds of relationships. I thought, we would enjoy the audience, and we knew it was I knew it was like a community staple, but I didn't expect how strongly I would feel that sense of community there.
Yeah, that's always so surprising to me as well. That I care about, I care about people. I think we all care about people. But when it gets to the level where, you're driving down the road and you start thinking about customers from the summer. You're like, wow, is every job like this?
Oh no, everyone.
No.
I think about Caitlin and Sam and Michelle. Like, there's so many people from the summer who they pop into my mind and I smile.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I hope I get to see him again this summer.
Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, I feel the same exact way. And that was such a surprising gift that, working here has given me. That I have these relationships, and there might be relationships. I think of people from years and years and years ago that their children grow up, and there's a cycle to families coming here, and they'll come back. I'm thinking of one family in particular. They come back, and their children are grown. Their children are adults and have jobs, and they
Yeah.
made it a point to, come back last summer after being away for a little bit of time. Maybe we saw them individually over the years, but we never saw them as a family unit again. But last summer
Yeah.
they came in as a family unit, and it was just so wonderful to see them sitting together, where they sat, 15 years ago when the kids were, babies.
Yeah.
And seeing them as adults, and that they were still, they were doing well. They were
Yeah.
doing well. That was a highlight of my summer last summer. It probably happened more than once, but this one particular family really sticks out in my mind, and I was thankful that they did that. And it was like a little bit of a throwback, a throwback. So so thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, there are people that come in that we get their energy from, and they give us enough, more energy than we can probably give them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the cast members in the room. One of the things that we're sitting at the Music Man right now, recording this, Liz and I, and one of the things that's unique about the Music Man is once you finish your contract at the end of the summer, you put up your headshot. So if you haven't been here before, but the visual element of the Music Man is at the top of the wall. Everyone at the end of the season gets to put up their headshot, and their headshots go from the very first year in 2003 with Doug Chattel all the way through. And I think you're the last person up right now, right, Liz?
Yeah, I'm the last person.
You're the last person up.
I was the last person that joined.
The last person that joined last summer. So the pictures go up in the order that you're hired. And for all of you that are out there that have worked at the Music Man, we see you every day.
Yeah.
You are still part of this group. You're still part of the organization. And I look at you and I think of you and I think of the songs that you sang and what you brought to the Music Man. So if you're not thinking about us, know we're thinking about you because we get to see your face, every time we're in here. So your picture's up on the wall, and that is an exciting, and your picture's in a great spot because as soon as you walk in the door, we get to see last year's group.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
so
we're
exciting.
lucky.
We're very lucky, very lucky. What question? Do you have anything that you want to ask Peyton, Liz?
Yeah, I think that we were just talking about like how you didn't know if you would apply, blah, blah, blah. Was there like a certain expectation that you had of the Music Man before you came? Or was it just like, oh, we'll just figure out when we get there?
I don't know. I feel like I kind of went in blind. I expected. I'd done a lot of customer service. I've worked in a lot of restaurants, so I knew that part would be high energy, high. If you've worked in a service job, you know it's. But I don't know. I didn't expect. I think to love it quite as much as I did, and I also didn't expect how wonderful of an area it's in. Like, I didn't realize how much time. I knew it was by the beach, so I knew I'd be spending time at the beach.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how cute the little towns are and the boardwalks there, and it's easy to get into the city. And I didn't realize how ideal of a location it was to spend your summer, which that was a wonderful surprise. But mostly I just didn't expect to like feel like family there.
Yeah, I think that it was
I
like,
just thought it was another job.
yeah, it was great to talking about like family and stuff because I came in later than everyone else, and I remember being very nervous to meet all of you guys. But you guys were so welcoming, and it was amazing. And like you said, it was
Yeah.
like a family, like right away.
Oh my goodness, I love what you guys are saying. I'm just like, I'm an observer right now. Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. Do you have a favorite memory from last summer? I mean, you talked about some great memories already, but is there something that you think you will take forever?
I think when the whole cast one night at midnight, we would usually do family dinner after after work every night. So we'd get out around 11:30 midnight. A lot of people you'd either carpool to Wawa or McDonald's or Taco Bell or cook at home. That wasn't the important part. The important part was that we would all get home and sit around the table and just hang out while we eat. And it wasn't formal. Like you could, if you needed the night, you could go take it on your own. Like it wasn't a stressful situation. Like it wasn't a thing that you had to do, but we all just naturally like did it.
Yeah.
Because we liked spending time with each other. But one specific night, Aggie looked at all of us and went, "Want to play a game?" And we all said, "Yeah!" And we played Cheers General for with like water in our cup. It wasn't like a traditional drinking game that we weren't even drinking during because we were just enjoying being silly at 1 a.m. And we just all at the table going, "Cheers, General!" And just play. That was just so fun and unexpected, and I think epitomizes like our experience there of us all just hanging out, and then Aggie saying, "Want to play a game?"
Yeah.
And us all going, "Yeah!"
Wasn't the name of it Cheers, Governor?
Oh, was it Cheers Governor?
I have no idea.
was so
But
funny.
I think it's something like that. But it was
Yeah.
yes, it was.
Oh my goodness.
I do remember that, and that was an amazing evening, to say the
Such a
least.
fun night. Unexpected.
Unexpected.
Oh my goodness.
You know, a lot of people ask about vocal health here, and you know, one of the things that you stayed so positive on last year is, you know, vocal health, and you know, there were times where we all struggle, and I think there was times where you struggled last year. You know, tell me how you dealt with those vocal issues at times, and how you stay positive.
Yeah, so I've never really had like a lot of issues with vocal health, but for whatever reason, at the beginning of the summer, last summer, I got sick and I just couldn't, what it felt like, I just couldn't recover. It just took my voice so much longer than normal. But instead of getting frustrated with myself, which was easy to do, I just tried to I tried to focus my energy on reminding myself that it just takes time to heal sometimes. Like sometimes you just got to give yourself grace. And I looked around and said, I'm not the most helpful performer right now. How can I be the most helpful team member? And so I just tried to focus my energy on making sure things were running as smoothly as possible and bringing good energy to everyone else, because I think your energy is infectious. Because I think if I was mopey about it or pouting about it, it wouldn't help it get any healthier any more quickly, and B, it would just bring other people down. Like
Yeah.
if you're a bummer, it's gonna bum other people out. So I just tried to stay positive, knowing that it would take patience and time, and yeah, tried to focus on just being the best employee and team member and friend that I could be in the
Well,
meantime when I couldn't really give my all to performing.
wow, that is a master class right there. I mean, that's just. You know, you'd written me a text message in the beginning of the summer. You know, when you were sick, you were under the weather, and I still have it, and I have read it again a few times, but it was beautiful. And I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to just paraphrase what you wrote. You just you were the one that was sick. How many times has this happened that, we're trying to comfort someone that is sick and they're in turn comforting us? And that's exactly what happened. You were sick. There was nothing you could do at that moment. And I was just, I just basically said to you, get better. What do you need? And just get better. And you wrote me this beautiful text that, that just made me know that you were all right. That you were thankful that I was giving you time. And quite frankly, that's what you deserved. And, I read that text message because I want to keep reminding myself that the gift of time is the gift that is the most beautiful gift. If you give people time, they will give you so much more. And in every situation, if they need more time to learn and you give them the gift of time and don't make them feel bad that they need more time to learn, they're going to give you more. And I don't know if that has anything to do with, my relationship with you as a person and as an employee and as a cast member. But I would like to hope, I hope so, because I want to do that more. I want to treat people with that philosophy, giving them more time to, just get better if they're sick, or, learn, or just to enjoy one another.
Yeah.
So I thank you. I never thanked you for that text message, but you, just so you know, when you wrote that to me on that day, I didn't say a word, and I just handed Josephine my phone, and I said, "Read this. I think we're going to be okay." Yeah. So that was wonderful, and I want to thank you for that.
That's so sweet.
So I know we've asked you a lot of questions today, and thank you for all that. But now let's get into the serious questions.
Yeah, all of the serious ones.
Okay. Well,
We have a tradition.
Yes, we have a little tradition that we've started that's called sprinkling you with questions, and they're really questions that we need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. To get to know you.
Would you like to start?
No, I think that. All right. Okay.
You'll start? Okay.
Peyton.
Yeah.
What is your favorite noise?
Oh. I love the sound of something very satisfyingly closing, like a container that just fits just right.
She's an organized queen.
Wow.
That's what we're getting.
I love the sound of birds chirping.
Yes.
And I love the sound of the ocean.
Those are beautiful.
Those are great. I like birds chirping in the spring. I found that the birds that are chirping in the spring make me really happy.
See, I don't hear the birds anymore. I don't hear the birds anymore. I hear the seagulls, and it's very different.
Seagull,
They're like yelling at you in the morning.
Yeah, seagulls don't chirp.
I think you're right. On the Jersey Shore, seagulls they do. They have this angry sound to them at times.
Do. Yeah.
My question is, flat or sparkling?
Sparkling.
Sparkling.
That does not surprise me.
Wow. I think everyone has said sparkling. All right, you get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What is it?
Ooh. Maybe Eloise by Penny and Sparrow.
Oh.
I don't know that.
I don't think I've heard that song.
It's a good one.
Okay, it's on my
playlist.
It's on my playlist. I'm putting it on my playlist. Okay, what's an essential part of your daily routine?
I drink a lot of water.
No.
Of water.
Yes. I drink like. I drink. First of all, I gave up soda.
I know that.
Crazy.
The Dr. Pepper?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know how I know this?
I know.
You know how I know this? My son Chaz has given up soda. And he actually cited you. He said, Peyton gave up soda. I'm going to try. And
He's been texting me updates.
Oh
right.
my
And
gosh.
he hasn't had any soda
That's insane.
in a number
feel
of
great.
weeks, maybe months, but definitely. So I knew that. I knew
See, I
that.
think that I could give up soda, but I could never give up coffee. And
Yeah.
so it's a struggle.
Yeah, coffee
Soda
would be
really
hard.
was my coffee, and I was just becoming way too dependent on it. So it started as a thing I was like, okay, let me just try. But then I felt so much better that I was like, okay, well, that's annoying because I like soda. But I feel so like I was sleeping better. My skin was better. Like I just felt so much better. So I have this big cup
Is it
with a handle and a straw.
That's so beautiful.
And I drink probably like 4 or 5 of these a day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
So much water.
Yeah. There's, when we start a show, we always look for you. We always look for you when we're about to start because you are normally not in places.
Probably because she's had too much water.
Too much water.
Yeah, I really get my body into a rhythm where I have to pee every show.
I didn't want to say
No,
that.
it was just funny today because we were about to call you and you said, just a minute, I have to go to the bathroom. we were like, oh, that's Peyton.
That's par for the course.
Yep. Yeah.
That is par for the course.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
Peyton.
sounds like me.
All right, I have another question. Do you have, what's your biggest irrational fear?
Rational or irrational?
Irrational.
It came true actually. It's
Oh, gosh.
dropping my phone down the crack of an elevator,
Oh my goodness.
and I did that.
When did you
In
do that? Oh.
I did it my junior year of college. I was on the phone with my mom, and it just slipped out of my hand
No.
and perfectly
No.
went through the crack. And my phone didn't break, actually. My mom just heard like loud noises.
Oh, so you got it back?
You got it? How did you?
I got it back. They had to shut down. They had to call maintenance and shut down the elevator, and they got it back.
Oh
Wow.
my
It was
gosh.
very cracked, but fine.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout
I
out,
faced my
shout
national
out to
fear.
that school that, called maintenance to do that.
UAB, University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's do that quickly. Education.
I went to the University of Alabama at Birmingham and got a BFA in musical theater.
Okay.
Slay.
Very excellent. Excellent.
It was wonderful.
Okay. I'll ask one more question and then you will do your final. Do you have a word?
No.
You don't?
I
Okay.
will.
All right, you think about it.
Yeah.
You think about it. Okay. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
Ooh. I don't know. One time I got pulled over in Montana and the police officer gave me my license back and said, "You look like Natalie Portman." And gave me my
Oh.
license.
Wow, Jersey
Which was
girl.
Okay.
She's a Jersey
The
girl.
highest
Really?
compliment.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
So maybe her. That's the only celebrity I've ever been
Well, it doesn't have to
compared
be.
to, but maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's not an actress yet,
You know
or
what?
maybe me.
Or maybe you. That's right. Maybe you'll play yourself. We always think about who will play us because they look like us. But
Yeah,
I don't necessarily need. I don't even have anybody that I would even
that's
pick.
fair. That's fair.
So, but that's interesting that you went with Natalie Portman. Good. All right, excellent.
I'm a big fan of Florence Pugh.
Oh. Yeah, I
Okay, I
really
see
like
it.
her.
I see
That
it.
would be an honor.
Yeah.
Big fan of Saoirse Ronan.
Yes. Yes, and she does have a American accent.
Yes.
That's right. All right.
All right. Peyton, for this last question, we do finish the lyric. So we give you one word and you just have to say the rest of a song that uses that
Okay.
one word. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So your word today is love.
Love. Love will keep us together.
Yes.
Wow, that is so appropriate. So appropriate. Well, Peyton, thank you so much for taking the time and
Yeah.
being with us. We are so excited that you are the first, besides Liz, we have to keep saying that.
Besides me.
The first cast member that we're announcing for our 21st season.
I'm so excited. So excited.
We're so excited.
The girls are coming back.
The girls are coming back.
Yeah, we are.
There's, there's songs that I've already started recording. In fact, I'll talk to you offline because I've already went into the studio and recorded some stuff. So I am so excited that you're going to be with us. I'm so excited that you're so thankful that you're part of this group and this family, and know that when you're not here, you're missed, and we would love to always have you here, and you're always welcome.
Yes. Thanks, Aggie.
All right, so,
I'm so excited.
let's blink and let's the summer begin, and let's have Peyton be at the Music Man on the Jersey Shore.
I can't wait.
Yay. Thanks, Peyton.
Thank
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
I love Peyton.
Oh my goodness, what a spirit she
Peyton
is.
was like one of the first people that I met here. She took me to my first Music Man show.
Oh, okay. So was she off that night?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the first night that I came in, she was off that night. She was like, let's go see a show. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. She's so welcoming.
She really is.
She's so welcoming, and for you people that grew up in the 70s, she's like Julie McCoy, the cruise director, from the Love Boat. She is just this person that wants everyone to be happy, everyone to, and again, not at her expense.
No.
Not at her expense. Like she doesn't, she's not sacrificing herself to make others happy, but she's just bringing people along for the ride of happiness.
Yeah, of course.
So she's a gem, that one.
A gem. Yes.
She's definitely a
she
gem.
Really is.
And
I'm so excited to see her again.
yeah, it's a matter of weeks. I don't even know when we're recording this how many days until the summer, but you may be listening to this in the summer. And if you are, make sure that you come and look for Peyton, and make sure she's singing in your show. Remind me that you listen to this and that you're going to hear her. And for, I think it's Ellie, right? Did she speak about her?
Yes.
Ellie. So
And
Ellie,
her grandpa.
she got a shout out. Grandpa and Ellie, you got a shout out today. And make sure you come and visit us all at the Music Man this summer for the best summer adventure.
Yes.
All right, is that it?
I think that's it.
Do I say goodbye?
Yep.
All right, bye, Liz.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Music Man Singing Ice Cream Shop.
Email us at bsa@themusicman.com.
Ask us questions.
We're excited.
We are so excited. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.